Hi and welcome to Split the E podcast. I'm your host Sean O'Grady. In this podcast we take artists out for a pint to get to know them a little bit better. This week I have a phenomenal tattoo artist, Cesar Franco. How are you, man? Thank you so much for doing this. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
But fuck it. Will we go for it straight away?
Yeah, if you want to.
Alright, so I'll explain the game. We might as well get into it because they're looking the good and I'm thirsty. Split E podcast.
Okay.
You take one drink until it goes to the middle of the label.
Okay, sounds good.
So up and down, and then we have to get there, right?
Okay, sounds good.
So best of luck.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh no, I didn't get it either.
Yeah.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Unreal. Caesar, how did you get into? When did the idea of tattooing and like the obsession of tattooing and?
So actually, it's a funny story. I went to get tattooed when I was very young. I was like 14 years old.
14.
Yeah. And I told my mom that I was gonna get a skateboard instead of getting the tattoo.
Fuck off.
So it was like a rainy day, crazy. Like we decided to.
What was it? A tattoo of a skateboard or something?
No, the tattoo was a wolf on my chest.
I see.
Because I had to hide it. So,
Yeah.
So I go get the tattoo, go home. My mom didn't know about it. But I'm the type of person that I'm very like emotional and like attached to feelings. So I couldn't lie to her. And I ended up going to her bed like at night. I'm like, hey mom, like, you know, I got a tattoo. And she got all like pissed off. She didn't talk to me for like a month.
No fucking way.
So right after that, after I got that tattoo, I decided that I wanted to become a tattoo artist eventually later on in my life.
Yeah.
And that's how I got the idea of going into tattooing.
Were you like always into art growing up?
Definitely, yeah. When I was very little, I always drew as much as I could because that was the thing that I was most passionate about.
Yeah.
Since I come from a very like artistic family, my mom does interior decorating.
No way.
My grandma does painting. One of my grandmas does also like fashion clothing and all that stuff. So the art has been always in my family, yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's something that I think it comes naturally, but yeah.
So since you were knee high to a grasshopper, as they say, you were always drawing.
Yeah, always drawing, yeah.
And you decided to draw on people's bodies then, which is
eventually, yeah. I took people as my guinea pigs for the tattoo.
Which is so funny because when a guinea pig, but you actually start off doing it on pig skin, don't you?
No, I did not. I started with my family.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So every single person I could just come get and tattooed. I don't recommend, like, for sure, I don't recommend it for like everyone to do that because like you want to be fair with people and you don't want to just damage people's skin. I can look back at the tattoos that I did back then and I say like what a mistake I've done.
Kind of connect the dots.
But it is honestly, like at the end of the day, is the best way because fake skin or pig skin is completely different from the actual human skin. So yeah. Is
that like how it absorbs the ink a little bit differently or just feels different?
One, to feel different, there's more tension on the like a fake skin or a pig skin.
Yeah.
When you're tattooing a human, it's more soft and it's easier to actually.
It's alive then as well, to be honest.
So it is easier in general.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's funny. I got all my uncles, all my cousin. I tattooed even my grandpa.
No way.
Yeah, I got everyone on board.
Oh my God.
So that was my start. Yeah.
And when you, as an artist, like, how did you totally start from the beginning? You were like being an apprentice and just jump straight into it?
So in high school, I wanted to do. I think I was in co-op.
Yeah.
So they give you choices of where you can go and work. They didn't allow people to be in tattoo shops, but I got this barber shop where it had a tattoo shop as well. So I decided to go to this barber shop and ask
Yeah.
They took me as a barber, as if I was learning to become a barber, but the owner knew that I was gonna do tattoos. So I started learning a little bit in that time.
Is this growing up here?
This is growing up here in Canada,
in Vancouver?
No,
Toronto?
in Toronto.
Sweet, yeah.
So after I finished college, high school, I went to college, and then during college, I decided to go back into tattooing. Well, like actually take it serious.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started off, and then I just quit everything and started tattooing. Yeah.
Unreal. Then that was
Yeah.
5 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was 5 years ago.
That's
I quit my job. I quit college and just completely tattooing.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did you make like realism the go-to like speciality that you wanted to do?
Okay, so the thing that happened with me is that which it happens to most of artists is that you start doing walk-ins at the beginning, and most of walk-ins are like little script or like random things. Could be traditional, could be everything, a bit of everything.
A pick and mix.
When I got to this tattoo shop that I got hired at, all the artists were doing the realism.
Yeah.
So I kind of like guide myself into that because of the people that I was watching and learning.
Yeah.
I liked all sort of styles at that moment. I didn't really know what to do. I was focusing on microrealism in that time because that's what I wanted to do. But eventually I noticed that microrealism doesn't heal too well, so I wanted to go for bigger projects, and that's when I decided to do the realism.
Can you explain
microrealism?
Yeah, microrealism.
Microrealism is just a smaller version of a big tattoo.
Okay.
So let's say if you're getting something from the wrist to your elbow. Microrealism will be probably half or less than half of that.
Okay.
So it will be very tiny. But in that moment, I really liked it because it was like kind of like trending. So I'm like, oh, like microrealism, all crazy and pump about it. I get into it and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do that anymore. So I started.
You're like, give me a bigger canvas.
Yeah, bigger canvas. Yeah.
So like, if you get like a back piece, are you just like,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like the main goal is to always get bigger projects. I find that you can put so many things and you can be more artistic.
Yeah.
Than just having a little spot. So yeah, I think I like bigger pieces.
A couple of pieces that you did that I like absolutely think are unbelievable. The Johnny Cash one.
Okay.
Fucking believable. I will like post it like as we speak right now, right?
Yeah.
And the Mac Miller one. I'm a massive fan of Mac Miller.
Nice.
Holy fuck, dude.
Those both pieces were pretty intense.
How was it, or how ironic it was for you to be drawing and like tattooing Mac Miller and then actually tattooing tattoos?
Okay, yeah, that's I get that a lot when the people see my Mac Miller piece.
Yeah.
Because they think, oh, you were tattooing tattoos on a tattoo.
Yeah, it's Inception. Yeah.
Well, as a realism artist, it's just very like not really like too much into it. Like it's not as crazy as people think, but definitely like it's crazy because you're doing like something that you do for a living, right?
Yeah.
But I take it as pretty much as a regular tattoo, like if I was tattooing anything else. So. But making the detail is fun. It's fun to do that.
Imagine.
Definitely.
Explain. So when you're drawing, right? Just drawing.
Yeah.
But a tattoo is basically you're drawing with a vibrator on your fucking hand.
Yeah.
Like, is there techniques to like fucking literally like strengthen your hand to keep it steady? Or is that just over time?
Mainly it's like when you start tattooing, that's why you should be doing more of a line work.
Yeah.
I really think the traditional things from the tattoo industry come in handy in that, and because of that. Because when you do line work, you make your hand more steady as you practice and practice and practice. Most of the machines now are so advanced that you don't feel much vibration anymore.
Yeah.
It's mainly like when you hit like parts of the body where like they're very tense, then you might feel something like that. But in general, you don't feel it as much. It's more of the practice of the steady hand. Everyone, when I did my first tattoo, I was like,
Yeah.
like shaking so much.
Our
So-
mates in our friend group, I think it was like they were maybe 17. They came in. Their older sister had a tattoo going,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah, we're all getting tattoos." So
Yeah.
on their ankle they have smiley faces.
Okay.
And it's not a circle at all. It's so cool because it's imperfect.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get one to be a
Yeah.
part of the crew. But it's funny to
see
this,
the
like
shakiness.
they're trying to do it.
I actually got my little cousin. She was like 6 years old to tattoo me.
What?
I just gave her the machine, and then she wrote her name on my skin. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's right here. It's soy.
Oh, unreal.
Yeah. I was like, "Do you want a tattoo?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Fuck it, why
I
not?
was like, "Let's do it." Yeah, it was pretty funny. She was like shaking, but she's like, "Oh, I don't want to do it anymore."
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, "No, you have to keep going. Write your whole name."
One thing that like really like I've seen a lot of advertisements of the numbing cream. Does that work?
Most of artists don't like it because it gets the skin so hard that it's so hard to tattoo on that. Some people do use it because their pain tolerance is very low.
Yeah.
But mainly, I don't really recommend it just because
Just because of the actual.
it makes it harder for the tattoo artist to do a proper tattoo. Yeah.
Going back to realism and
Yeah.
the realism tattoos, is that all down to shading and the different types of like in tattooing? There's only like 7 different types of ink. Is that right? And then you have to mix them.
No, there's well, like it depends. If you're doing colors,
Yeah.
then you have multiple colors.
Oh,
that
you have
can
multiple
choose, yeah.
colors.
If you're doing black and gray, every artist has their own technique and their own style to do. I personally like to put a lot of gray scale, like multiple ink caps with different type of grays.
Yeah.
That way I can be more accurate on the gray that I'm gonna apply.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like you can mix it and make different type of grays. So it's not as specific that you can have only 7 or 10 or.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have 12 of my ink caps set up on the table for black and gray only.
And then
So-
the color, the one that stands out for me, the one that you've done is Jordan. Holy
The
shit.
Michael Jordan one?
Yeah.
That one is pretty
Oh my
nice.
God.
That was pretty fun piece. I love doing color. I don't really get too much of color because my black and gray is so strong. So
Yeah.
most of people go for the black and gray.
Yeah. I seen
But-
today you actually like post that.
Yeah, no.
I'll fucking take it. If you want to do some color on me, man, yeah,
Sounds
let's do
good.
it.
Eventually, like I want to switch. My main goal is to do portraits only, like human portraits or animals, and do it in black and gray or color, but make it super realistic. That's my goal.
The hyper realism.
Hyper realism, yeah. It's
What's
just-
the challenging part of hyper realism?
The thing is that you have to know the skin, how it reacts on the ink that you apply, in terms of like how it's gonna heal. But it's mainly practicing to know what you can put on the skin and what you cannot put, and learning what it will heal good and what it's not gonna heal good. That way, your realism gets as close as possible to the picture, and you know for sure that it's gonna stay in the skin. I think that's the hardest part. Making something look like the photograph, I think it's just practice, and eventually you're gonna get that, and like you're gonna get there eventually. But it's the hardest part is to know what you can put on the skin without like being damaged, or without like after it heals it's gone or it's mixed with the rest of your.
I was researching a little bit, and they were saying like it's. Correct me if I'm wrong too, but it's technically not okay to layer the skin because you will ruin this. It'll like irritate the skin a bit. Is that true?
I work by layers, so I think that could be
down to every artist is different.
Yeah, I think it depends on the artist.
Yeah.
The old school traditional artists, they do say that. They say that like, oh, you have to pack it and that's it.
Yeah.
But for
Work
me,
from
you
home.
have to. It's like a painting, right? So you have to like work on it, put layer by layer, and make sure like things are like perfect as you want it. Of course, you cannot jam the skin and just go like crazy on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You have to be very gentle and have
Yeah.
patience, and that way you don't hurt the skin too much. Yeah.
Oh, right. Your life. So you once you started off tattooing, when did you decide to? Yeah, I'm going to go and travel the world and tattoo.
So I've been tattooing in Toronto like most of my career. I didn't leave Toronto until like a year and a half ago that I went to Calgary.
Yeah.
After going to Calgary, I went back to Toronto. I stayed again in Toronto for a couple of months. But then last year was very stressful for me. I had some health issues and all that stuff.
Shit,
So it was really hard for on my body. And I started realizing that like I was too focused on making my business great and then also making my tattoo like my tattoos look great as well. And
Yeah.
I was putting things in a balance, and I'm like, hey, like I told my wife, are we gonna take off next year and just travel and enjoy life, or
And kind of
are we
reset.
gonna keep working in this
Yeah.
like non-constant like grinding
Yeah.
that like we have to do to survive in Toronto?
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, let's travel, and she was happy with the idea, and we started traveling. So far, it's been so good. Now, like I was supposed to take medications, I stopped them, and I'm completely fine. So after traveling,
Fuck
I
yeah.
think yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Health as well. Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I decided to do the traveling.
So you've been traveling for how long now?
From January we started. We came to Vancouver.
Yeah.
After Vancouver, we went back to Toronto. We did a couple of days in Toronto, and then we went to Iceland.
Nice.
We did Iceland. We came back, Montreal, and from Montreal we came here again. Well, we did Calgary, and then we came here.
And
We drove from Toronto to Vancouver, actually.
How was that?
Yeah, it was a
That's
long drive. It was a long drive.
Really
But-
nice, though, I'd say.
But it is really nice. After you cross, after you finish Ontario,
Yeah.
it's like a
Flat.
flat
Yeah.
place. It's not so
The-
nice, but
I was asking someone, I was like,
yeah.
what's it like? And they were like, well, if your dog runs away, you'll be able to watch him run
Oh,
away.
100%, yeah. Your dog has to go so far so you cannot see it.
Yeah.
But it's so flat, like it's insane because you're going on a straight line, and then on the maps you can, because the maps is further than what you can see in person. So you can see that there's a curve, and you're like, oh, there's a curve. You're excited for it, but then your turn is like a 20-minute turn, so it still looks straight.
Oh my God.
So it's so boring. It's like
Wow.
actually so bad.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. Where was the coolest place that you had to go, and you were tattooing all along while you're traveling too, right?
The only place that I didn't tattoo was Iceland.
Oh,
Iceland,
nice.
I did not work there.
Nice.
Yeah, I just took it off for
Just for a holiday.
a
You might
holiday.
as well.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna change this random question.
Okay.
What was the? Give me two questions, right? What's the best tattoo you've seen, and give me the worst tattoo you've seen, and why?
The best tattoo I've seen in person.
In person.
Is definitely from this artist that I'm
Admire?
a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually had the chance to learn a couple of times from him because he will go to the shop that I used to work at.
Yeah.
His name is Steve Butcher, and
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, and this guy, the way that he does the realism, he does color realism, and his technique is very like unique because he just kind of like puts colors as he goes in a kind of like a patchy way.
Yeah.
And but it still makes it look realistic. He was doing a tattoo of what's this boxer, Rocky,
Yeah.
and the way that everything, like the way that it looks, like it looked like you can touch the the gloves. You can touch the skin of
nearly
the.
almost
Of
3D
Rocky.
looking.
It was so realistic. Like
Yeah.
it tricks your eyes so hard, like in your mind so hard that like you're like it's just a photograph on someone's skin.
Yeah, I know, it's nuts.
So yeah, like, that was the craziest one. And then the worst tattoo I've seen. Damn.
Have you seen that one? That's the guy's going bald, and then he went in and got tattooed. So he's obviously like a widow's peak. So he got tattooed just hair here. It's
my
fucking
God.
shittest thing. I'll show you after the podcast. We may have my phone, but it's the worst.
Oh my god. I don't remember what was the worst actually.
That's good.
I've seen a couple of bad tattoos, but yeah, I don't remember what's the worst.
Yeah.
My wife says that every time I'm talking to like all different artists in a convention, if I see a bad tattoo, she's like, "Oh, you don't know how to hide your face because in your face you can tell that you don't
No way.
like the piece."
Yeah.
So every time I'm like,
Oh shit.
yeah, it's just like, oh, let's go. I'd seen a couple of bad tattoos. I don't remember something in specific, but yeah.
What's the as tattoos? It dates back to fucking the 1800s. It's so
yeah,
ancient.
it's like very long story on it.
What's the like most groundbreaking thing in tattooing now?
What do you mean by that?
That the is there like anything that's like it seems to me that like hyperrealism is the pinnacle of tattoos.
Okay.
Is there any technique or is there anything that's like on the crisp of like, oh my god, that's unbelievable for in your opinion?
I think like as much as I like realism, I think realism is pretty basic
Really?
in terms of artistic. Every artist I do say they have to know how to do realism before they do anything else.
Okay.
Because one thing is like drawing cartoons and all that stuff. Eventually
Yeah.
you can do it, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, there is going to be some time people with more talent than others for
Yeah.
that. But I do say realism is really important for the artist's life. But I think realism is very simple compared to the other people that do like crazy things and they add more of a artistic feeling. It's just like a painting, right? So
Yeah.
you can do a painting of a portrait, or you can do a painting where it has like a scenery, like the Sixtine Chapel ceiling and
Yeah.
different things going on. There's different emotions. There's different feelings that you can be attached to this painting. All those things. Realism, when you do a portrait or something in specific, it doesn't really bring too much of emotion.
Yeah.
I'd say. So yeah, that's what I think that. Like on your question, I'd say realism is not the
Oh my
hype
God.
on. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've seen
totally agree. Yeah.
I've seen crazy things on conventions where artists create this like masterpieces with flow on it, with like very nice artistic things like shapes and all these things that they put together to make the piece complete. I think that's amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever like done like freehand tattoos then?
No, I have
And
not.
is that kind of going down that avenue that you're talking about, where it's just an actual artist creation?
For me, eventually, I don't. So far in my career, I don't think I will be doing that.
Yeah.
Because I want to, like I said, I want to focus
Oh, of
more
course,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
portraits. But I've been working with one of my friends. His name is Irbing. I don't know. He has a weird name on Instagram. I'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
But he does more of the freestyle.
Yeah.
And he does horror. So it's like a gothic type of like demons and all these things.
Yeah.
And he draws everything on the skin. It's completely nuts.
That's
This guy is just drawing with markers. And when you see what he drew on the skin, it's not like you can tell, oh yeah, this is gonna look like this.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you see the final product, it's like mind blowing, because everything is coming from this guy's head. So it's not like he has a reference or anything like that. It's everything from his head, so it's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
It's pretty wicked.
We were talking about tattoos, and I would love to get a tattoo off you if you're free down the line.
Uh-huh.
But like I have an idea, but I think it's definitely more special to give the tattoo artist like freedom
Okay.
to do
Yeah.
their own thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever like, what's the most freedom and the biggest project that you had that you feel like that's like the best, that you enjoy the most?
Now I'm gonna be working on a biking half sleeve theme,
Yeah.
and I have the entire completely freedom on that.
Unreal.
So I've been like, it's been a couple of days that I go back to the design and change it up and make things. I'm gonna be posting it soon on my Instagram, because that's when I get back to Toronto that I'm gonna do 4 days in a row to do this piece. I think I'm really excited. I don't say I have something right now that I've done
Yeah.
with that type of freedom.
Yeah.
But that one is gonna be like a pretty sick piece. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there like attention to detail and time on a piece? Like, I'd say, how long is a piece of string? So
Okay.
when you like, how long does a piece like that take in general? I could imagine it's like hard to even like say it's going to take this long.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you give me a portrait, I'm kind of quick on a portrait.
Good, yeah.
My sessions are always like, the shortest session I will do is like 8 hours,
Yeah.
and they're always from 8 to 10 hours long.
But when you're getting realism at that quality, you need to
You
spend
need
so long
many
on it.
hours. Yeah, you have to like spend a long time.
Yeah.
Because it's like so much detail that you have to put into these pieces,
Yeah.
that it's not like just so simple and do it. You
Not
have
at
to
all.
dedicate your time to get to that realism. Yeah. So sometimes it could take less time. Sometimes it could take longer.
100%.
It's really hard to say, okay, this is gonna take this long.
Yeah.
And people want things fast. People don't want things like slow. They want to get like, I've had people asking me, oh, can you do a full leg sleeve in a day? And I'm like,
No way.
what? Who says that to you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
If you had like 16 artists working on you, definitely you can get a leg
Yeah,
sleeve in
yeah.
one day. But other than that, it's gonna take multiple sessions.
I've actually seen, and do you know Jake Paul? Everyone knows Jake Paul.
Yeah.
He actually got like knocked out unconscious
Yeah.
surgically,
Yeah.
and then he had like maybe
I
like
think,
5 or 6
yeah,
tattoo artists
yeah.
on him.
That's crazy.
That's
I don't
nuts.
know. I never looked into the artists that worked on him.
I just seen the vlog.
But I'd seen that a couple of times, in actually famous people from Colombia
yeah.
that are doing that as well. They will go to sleep for a little bit and then get tattooed a bunch.
Could you imagine that's nearly easier for the artist too?
I don't. Oh, I mean, it's gonna be easier because the client is not just flat.
Yeah, it's not
just
like
dead.
get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, it's just dead.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the skin is, to be honest. Maybe I think the skin should be the same as if you were awake.
Yeah.
Could change a little bit, but.
What is that like? I have skin disease. I have psoriasis, right?
Okay.
So like, do you take that into consideration of like, oh, this guy has like dry skin, or like
mainly is if I see someone that has like a skin problem.
Yeah.
I always ask them, have you ever asked your doctor if you're getting a tattoo? That's completely fine.
Yeah.
If the doctor says yes, then you can get tattooed.
Yeah.
Of course, on the areas that you have that problem,
I wouldn't do it.
it's best not to touch those areas because you never know how the tattoo is gonna heal and what's the like after it heals. How's the life of the tattoo?
What's it gonna look like?
Yeah.
100%.
And so it all depends on. I mainly recommend just to talk to your doctor before coming to the shop and
Where is that? How much tattoos do you have?
I have my arm sleeve. I have a chest, a couple of tattoos on my leg.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that I got at the beginning, but they're horrible. I don't like them.
So
Because I can do better than that now.
I was thinking about this. So because you can do realism tattoos,
Yeah.
could you actually tattoo skin? You know?
What do you mean, like?
So it's like I have this tattoo. Could you like cover it up in my skin? I know it
No,
won't
I
look the exact same.
I don't think that's possible.
It's not possible.
Because the pigment of, let's say, if you get something
It's going to be
dark,
completely different.
it's different, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you have to build up that like layer by layer on top of that black ink that you got.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is possible for that.
Because it's like it's supposed to be like really hard to do cover-ups, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't take cover-ups because they're so hard, and since I do black and gray, mostly the realism and a black and gray need a lot of different tones.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a cover-up, most of these tones are like a transparent tone, so you will be able to see what's behind that
Oh, I see.
tattoo. So
I see.
yeah. So that's why I mostly say no to the cover-ups.
Oh, right.
If you're getting like a little script cover-up and I'm doing a massive tattoo, then
That's okay.
That's okay, yeah, because I can hide it somewhere. But if you're getting like a small portrait and you have like letters, yeah, definitely not.
In your travels, have you ever came across, or you know, the whole traditional bamboo style?
Yeah, I'd heard of it. I
Have
would
you?
love to get that work done.
I'd
on
love
me,
to.
yeah.
And then at the last, because of COVID, I didn't go to the tattoo conference that was on last week.
Okay.
In Vancouver.
Okay.
But I went to one that was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I seen this technique that was super cool, where they dip a thread in the
Okay.
ink, and they literally like sew it. Like I have a line here, right? They would sew a line with the thread and run it through your skin. Have you ever seen that?
No, I never seen that
I thought it
actually.
was
No.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to see it.
I don't know if it was like a traditional from Vancouver or something.
Had to be traditional because
I was definitely trying to,
yeah.
yeah. But I don't know where
Yeah,
exactly
never-
in the world it was from.
Yeah, I never seen that happening before. I love traditional, like the stick and poke where they hit
Yeah.
the bamboo.
Yeah.
I will eventually go up maybe to New Zealand or something like that and get like Maori style and
Yeah, because they literally from the waist down, they just get tattooed as
they
well.
get like full body, face,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
neck, everything.
Where was the most painful place that you've got?
My neck. We did 8 hours on my neck.
No way.
and it was not fun.
No.
Especially because like my head was like tilted
All the
back,
way back, yeah.
and the entire time he was tattooing, it's not like I could watch a movie or something.
Yeah.
So all the time I was just looking
Kinda,
at his
yeah.
neck,
Yeah.
reminding me of the pain that he's inflicting in me. So it was pretty annoying. Like it was not a fun piece.
What if you had to give advice to someone getting a tattoo? What would you give?
I will tell them think about the idea a lot, and choose your artist right. Do a big digging on like how the tattoos of that artist heal, because they could look great after they're done, but they could look horrible after they heal. So that's one really important thing, and then look at different artists from all over. That way you can see different quality.
Yeah.
Sometimes people stick with the artists that are local,
Yeah.
and they never get to see like that there is better quality. I tattoo people that they tell me like, oh, I didn't know this was possible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, it is possible. And I'm not like one of the best too. Like I'm good, but I'm not like the crazy best.
Who would you recommend that is at the pinnacle? And I know you said
Steve Butcher.
Yeah.
And my favorite artist from all time, like that I want to meet him one day. It's his name is Ralph Nonweiler.
Okay.
He's
Where's
from
it?
Germany.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully after my stay here in Vancouver, I'm going to Europe, and I'm trying to hopefully get to his shop and work at his shop.
That's amazing.
For a couple of days.
When you're traveling around, do you just like hit up tattoo parlors and you ask them, can I tattoo?
Yeah, so I message with my team. We message to each shop, and then we get the feedback from them, and then they tell us like how's the process if we go with them, and then we decide.
What shop are you working at the moment?
It's called New Edge Inc.
New Age Inc.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
It's in New Westminster.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
great.
very good shop. Has a long long history. I
Okay.
think it's been open for 9 years almost.
Oh wow.
So, and they have 2 locations now, so it's pretty big shop.
When you're here until the 24th, that's correct?
Mm-hmm. No, here until the 17th.
17th.
Yeah.
17th. Where are you off to next?
Toronto for 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to Europe.
Finish off that bike tattoo, is it?
Yeah, the biking.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm gonna be working, and then after that I'm going to Europe,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take probably 2 weeks off. I'm gonna go to this party in Spain that is called San Fermines,
Okay.
and it's the bull run
Oh no way!
where like
Unreal.
the people dress red
in red and white?
and red and white.
Yeah.
And then they just let the run.
You gonna run after?
No.
Fuck that, man.
Fuck that.
You ever seen
Yeah,
videos
you
of
have
they
to-
getting pummeled up the whole?
Yeah,
like,
every single year someone gets hit by a bull. For
Oh,
sure,
definitely. Yeah. No.
We were there once, and it was so funny. We arrived. I completely forgot that because I have part of my family that lives there. So we arrived to Pamplona. That's the only town that they do that, and we arrived there. We come out of the bus station, and then we look around, and like everything was a mess. It was dirty, like garbage everywhere. I'm like, what is going on with this town? Like,
Yeah.
and then my cousin picks us up, and then he tells us, oh, like, dude, like it's San Fermines, and
There's
I'm like,
thousands of people here.
there's thousands,
Yeah.
and then the next day we go out for drinks, and it's like insane. So at night, everyone goes out. There's a bunch of people. You cannot even walk in the streets because it's a European town where like the streets
Cobble
are
streets.
small
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
So you cannot walk through
Different
them.
alleyways and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then everyone after the party's over, like around I think around 8, big car with water starts shooting everywhere. They don't care if you're on the street sleeping.
Yeah.
They still like wake you up and get you to go.
Fuck, we need that here in
Yeah.
Vancouver.
After a party, they just clean it. So from the morning until like 4 or 5,
Yeah.
everything is like all clean, nice. After that, it gets nuts again. Like it's
Unreal.
like over and over for like 15 days, I think.
Wicked. Are you going to do any tattooing there? Or is that just a
Not
holiday?
this time. Not this time. I used to go to Spain and do tattoos, but not this time. Mainly, we're gonna go to Germany to do tattoos. I want to go to UK
Yeah.
and Belgium. It's one of the places that I want to go.
You should stop off in Ireland on the way there now.
I think I wish I could, but I don't think this time. My wife actually, while I'm gonna be in London, she's gonna do solo trip to Faroe Islands.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's
Very
gonna be
nice.
pretty cool.
Unreal.
I think all that area it's like has like the same scenery style.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's nice. Yeah.
Unreal. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can I get your social media handles, please?
Yeah, you can find me in Cesar Franco Tattoos.
Yes.
That's my handle for.
And definitely
social
reach
media.
out and look at his portfolio because it is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing,
Thank you so
amazing.
much,
That's
man.
from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
You're around until the 17th.
The 17th, yeah.
Do you have any vacancies?
No, I'm fully booked.
You're fully
this time.
booked?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, all right. We'll get you when you're
It'll
back in
be-
Vancouver next.
We're hopefully. I'm thinking November. Maybe in November.
Come
I'll
around the
say
17th. That's my birthday.
The latest is okay. I'll try to come in those days.
Yeah. Thank you again.
All right.
Cheers. Thanks for watching
Thank you.
Split the podcast. Please like and share, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, man.
That was great.